Welcome everyone to Vape Sunday on Aaron.life. I'm really excited about this episode, and I have a few cool things I want to share with you and some not so cool things that I want to share with you. First off, I've been making these videos, and kind of the point is I just wanted to share some of my love about vaping, and I kind of wanted to give some perspective maybe from like a total noob, like I don't know really anything other than what I'm learning little by little. So I should say that like none of my videos are a professional standpoint, if there's even such thing as a professional standpoint from vaping. Well, there is. I found some pretty crazy cool coil builds and some different stuff that are like definitely professional. But anyways, you should just know that I really am just kind of learning, as possibly some of you are, and I just wanted to be able to share some of that stuff with you. I'm actually planning on doing a new set of videos that I'm going to be working on that will probably have nothing to do necessarily with vapes, but will cover certain issues that are really important to me that I think may be important to some of you. So last night we were going to a party. Some of our friends from work were having a get-together. It was lots of fun, DJ kind of stuff and dancing and lots of fun stuff. And I wanted to obviously bring my vape, because who wouldn't want to have your vape at a party? And the problem was I ran out of the juice that I wanted to bring. If you remember last week, I talked about this. It's called the King by King's Crown. It's like a secondary line from Suicide Bunnies. Anyways, it's really good. It's like hazelnut, maybe like a slight coffee taste, and it's really, really good. So it goes really well when you're used to fruity type things. It's really a nice change up from that. Anyways, I like it a lot, so I really wanted to bring it. So I went to the local vape shop. Remember, we support our local vape shops. Or they had some Suicide Bunny, but they don't have King's Crown. They also don't have pinup vapors, which I don't even understand how a store cannot have pinup vapors. So I had to look through some other stuff, and so I ended up with Cuttwood, which I've had Cuttwood before. I've never had this one. This is called Boss Reserve. 6 volts. We have our Clopper, Clupper, Clapper, which I'm still really enjoying this box. So it's good. I mean, I think if you're going to do vape videos and you're not going to blow a couple clouds in it, then it's really not even worth calling it a vape video. So that's why I do it. But anyways, it's really good. It's a golden honey graham cereal with roasted nut clusters, not just roasted nuts, roasted nut clusters, okay? And it's drenched in creamy milk and layered with sliced bananas. Now, we're not talking about just any kind of banana, because who would want a whole banana in their vape? They are actually sliced bananas. So we're really happy that they took the extra time while making this juice to make sliced bananas. Anyways, I'm really liking it. I'm still going to buy the King, because I still really like the King, but this one definitely is very close to the King, and it's a very good juice. So last night at the party, lots of good times, and of course, when people see vapes, everyone wants to know what it is, and a few people are like, oh yeah, I've heard of that or whatever. A lot of people don't know what it is, so they're like, oh, the biggest question I get is, oh, is that a pocket hookah? And I'm like, no, it's not a pocket hookah. It's not any type of hookah. And the thing I really like to explain to people is that a hookah is real smoke. Now, I'm not hating on hookah. If you liked a hookah, no problem with me. But a hookah is actually real smoke, and I'm sure it's better for you because it goes through water and all that, better than like regular cigarettes. And I'm sure it doesn't have all the chemicals and stuff in it, but I don't know too much about hookah. But anyways, I'm like, no, it's actually like a pocket steamer, and it creates steam out of vegetable glycerin. Remember, vegetable glycerin? So it's like natural. And all it is steam, and then you can pick lots of yummy, awesome flavors, and it's just like a total fun thing to do. So of course I was blowing clouds around, and everyone thought it was cool, and people passed it around and tried it, so good times with that. I'm thinking of possibly getting some of my own starter kits and maybe putting Aaron.life on them, or another name that I could be thinking of, maybe not. People, they're definitely really interested in it, and I think it's going to go crazy as long as the government does not get involved. Everything the government gets involved with, it's like, the prices are going to double and stuff like that. So we definitely don't want that. So I told you that I had some good stuff to share and some bad stuff. So let's get to the bad stuff. So the local vape shop, I bought a new stick mod. This is my skeleton key. I've shown you this one before. It's really nice, goes like this. And I like it. My only beef with it is it's kind of big. It holds a battery, and look how much bigger that is than the battery. So it's like, I just feel like there's so much wasted space having it. So the one that I found called the Simple mod, so it's barely bigger than a battery, and so it was really cool. I really liked it. Now the problem with it is that it's literally just almost a case for the battery. And what you'll notice is that in this one, there's a pin. You see that center pin in there? So there's no contact. So when you put in your RDA, see that protruding screw right there, that copper screw? So that sticks out past the threading. So the way these work is the threading is the negative, and that pin in the center is the positive connection. Well, in the Simple mod, it doesn't have this whole pin set up. See, when this goes in here, the battery actually only goes to about there. In the Simple mod, there's no pin. So literally, the tank sits, it screws in, and this part literally sits on the battery like that and makes actual contact. Now, it seems like a good idea, and I liked it. I liked how small it was. The problem with it was that he didn't inform me that you can't use some of the tanks, like the Aspire Atlantis or Nautilus Mini, or any of the Kanger sub-ohm tanks, like I have all those. This has a protruding, there you can see it right there. Protrusion, no protrusion, no protrusion, protrusion, no protrusion, protrusion. So here's what happened. I ended up putting on my Aspire Nautilus Mini, and I had a menthol in it. It was really nice and minty like crazy. The mod started getting hotter and hotter and hotter in my hand, and so I knew obviously there's a problem with this. This is not normal. And I took the tank off and I looked in, and since there's no pin or anything, it's literally just a hole, and some stuff kind of came out. Didn't hurt me. My eyelashes reflex worked and my eyes closed just in time, so I was fine. But it kept getting hotter and hotter, so I threw it outside because I didn't want it to blow up in my office. So I didn't really know what happened. I took it back, told him what happened. He acted all surprised. He gave me my money back. If you're gonna own a store and people come in, and I spent a good amount of money at these stores, and he did return the Simple mod, which obviously because it blew up, but I had bought a new battery, which are cheap, and it ruined my tank, which I did buy from them, my Nautilus Mini. So it ruined my tank. I don't know if you can see it in this, but the threading is kind of jacked up, and I don't want to screw it on any of my devices because the threading has become really rough, and it's actually has a burning smell. So here's the deal. If you're going to run a store and you're not going to know your product, that's the first problem that I have. This stuff can actually be dangerous. And number two, if one of your products that you sell damages something and it's not the person's fault because you didn't tell them any of the precautions, then I would think you would replace the tank that was ruined and replace the battery. These batteries are not that expensive. So here's my little thing. If you're gonna run a store and you're gonna have a customer like me that spends a good deal amount of money at it, and one of your things damages their stuff, and they ask for a new tank, a replacement tank, and a replacement battery, you should just do it. I mean, what's the hit you're gonna take? Like $20, $15? And then you have a happy customer. Now, when people are happy, they tell people about your store. Now, I'm not saying I'm never gonna go back there again, but it does make me think, like, seriously. And then come to find out, I'm watching videos. So I found this new girl on YouTube. Her name is Gore Brittany, and she's also on Facebook. So Gore, Brittany, spelled Britnee. And she's a cute girl, and she likes horror films and stuff like that, which is cool. And she does little videos like this, and she reviews stuff. So it's really very helpful. So the other night, I'm watching one of her videos where she actually reviews the Simple mod. And guess what she says? She says, please, if you buy one of these, do not use any of the tanks that don't have protruding pins, such as the Aspire Atlantis, the Aspire Nautilus and Nautilus Mini, and any of the Kanger tanks, because they do not have a protruding screw. And I thought to myself, this girl knows this. The store owner didn't know this. And so I kind of think that's a problem. Anyways, it is what it is. Made a friend try to go and get me a tank and bug him, and he even wouldn't even budge with her. So whatever. So it is what it is. So that's that. I'm done with my little rant, but know your stuff. If you're going to sell stuff, you should know your stuff. And number two, if you have a customer, and I'm not talking about like some kids that come in and buy like, you know, the cheapest juice and you never see them again for months. Like I literally go there almost every week, and it's just silly to me that you wouldn't just want to have a happy customer. Now, luckily, I'm not going to be blowing up Yelp and blowing up all the, review sites, because I could really do damage, and I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not spiteful, not hateful. Okay, so moving on. Enough of the bad rant, and we will go into some nice news. So, because the simple mod didn't work, I ended up with this one. This is the Terra, and this is really nice. This one's substantially smaller than my skeleton key. It's copper, and this is a Doge. Okay, there's a little dog inscription. We have 2 air holes, vent holes, and a really big drip tip. It's about as biggest one I've ever seen, and I'm really liking this. Now, please do not laugh at my coils. This is only the second one I've built. Please do not laugh. I'll show it to you as long as you promise not to laugh. It's actually not bad. I mean, my second one ever. My friend is messaging me about their vape selling skills. This is what it's like. It's just basic. So you wrap, and I'm not gonna show you how to do that. There's already enough videos. You can go on Brittany's, and she does coil stuff for you. But here she is. And I will demonstrate. Now, this is also Lana. She's really the only one I've really liked when I drip. That's pretty serious. Really good. So this is the Doge, and this is an authentic one. This is all authentic. My skeleton key is a clone. This is real. Came with this nice little box. Opens up and has some of the telescopic add-ons so that you can use different size batteries. So the whole point of these extra telescoping parts is that you can take off the main one and use different size batteries. I really don't find it that useful. So this is the standard 18650 battery, and then this is the next one down, it's the 18500. And I mean, it's just a little smaller. Now, all the batteries are 3.7 volts, so that doesn't change. I wish they could like get more in there, but they can't. This one's 1100 milliamp hours, and this one is 2500 milliamp hours. And so really the whole thing is just to like shave off this much of the size, but then you lose a lot of your minutes rating. So like this is only gonna last, maybe an hour or two, and this one gets me through the good part of the day. So to me, shortening it like a little half an inch or so just is not that good of a trade-off for the major decrease in battery runtime. So the other cool thing is I asked a question on Brittany's Facebook page, and she had a post saying that she was going to be doing a video and that if anyone had any questions. So I asked her a question, and she actually answered it in her video the next day.
Aaron said that he's been a tank person and everyone uses RDAs and tells him that RDAs are all about flavor. He got an RDA, but he feels like he gets more flavor from his tanks. He's wondering if there's a better way to build his coils to get more flavor. So I talked about this in my Dripping 101 video, sort of. Essentially, especially with flavor builds, you're going to want to do a contact coil where the coil is touching, it's all squished together, and you're going to want to get a lot of surface area in your coils. Now, my perfect flavor build I just described earlier, you want surface area, like you want a long coil, like you don't want to do like 5 wraps of like 26 gauge because you're not really going to be burning a lot of juice and you're not going to get a really flavorful hit. That's why I use really low gauge wire and why I vape at 0.2, because I like 22 gauge. You can do 8 wraps, and it gives you a really good sized coil to work with. Another thing that can kind of hinder your flavor is putting too much cotton. This kind of comes with experience, knowing how much cotton is enough. You just kind of have to play with it. Like if you just drown your build in cotton, unless you have like a 20 gauge coil, you really don't need a metric ton of cotton.
So I haven't bought the 22 gauge Canthal yet. I'm going to be doing that next time I go to the store, and I'm gonna try it and see, because I really want to get the flavor. Like the clouds are cool. I like the clouds and it's fun, but I'm really all about the flavor. Oh, I was talking to my mom for a while and we're having a long conversation, and I was like, oh, I really want to vape because it's been like a while and I really want to. So I got it out. Now, she's not against it, but she's not totally thrilled with it. Like she's not completely thrilled with the whole vape idea. She just thinks, but she knows like not to bug me about it, right? So anyways, I get my vape out and I was telling her about Betty. Betty. So I was telling her about Betty, and she's looking at it, she's like, oh, that's a really cute bottle. And she looks at the girl. She looks at the girl in the front. She's like, oh my gosh, that's Betty so-and-so. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, how do you know? And she's like, yeah, that's an actual pinup from like the 40s or whatever, like a real one. And I'm like, no way, that's so funny. All the pinup vapors, they all have pictures. So we have Marilyn and we have Victoria and we have Lana, which I've talked about. This is the one that you need to only use in an RDA because it's so thick. And you guys are gonna laugh. How many milliliters is this? I don't know, it's a lot. This one's gone, you'll see it's almost gone. There's only a little bit left. So I definitely use Betty a lot. But anyway, so we Googled it, and sure enough, each one of the pinup vapors are actual real pinups. Remember to vape responsibly, don't annoy people, because we don't need new laws and stuff like that, and we don't need people getting hurt. So if you're a store owner, know your product and tell people the correct way to use things. We all need to be really responsible, because this is a really fun hobby, and we need to be careful and responsible so that the government doesn't come in and ruin it and hike up all the prices and make certain things illegal. So we have to buy things from like other countries and all that kind of mess. So vape responsibly. Happy Vape Sunday, and we will see you in a week or two. Bye.